Hello everyone, Quentin here. Recently I was given some vintage lenses from a good friend of mine, and one of these vintage lenses was this, a 80 to 200mm FD focal lens. The only information I was able to find about this lens online was through this Etsy link. The seller was asking around $50 for it, so that's pretty cheap for a telescoping lens with a somewhat high focal distance. This lens has a minimum aperture of 3.5 and a maximum aperture of 22, so you can adjust the settings near the bottom so you can get some really close-up shots. Keep in mind I will be using a Canon EOS M50. I could not find an adapter for FD to EFM, so I'll be using an FD to EF adapter that is then put on a Viltrox speed booster. This may not be the best setup for this lens, but let's see what it's capable of anyway. The first 6 photos I took were taken with the aperture set to 3.5. I found that the photos for the most part look really good, however there does appear to be noise when you zoom into the photos. The rest of the photos shown were shot using the aperture setting of 5.6. It is nice to occasionally have photos without such a blurry bokeh background, however this lens does have an issue with vignetting with higher aperture settings, which is fine if you like to have vignettes in your photos, but unfortunately there is nothing you can really do about it unless if you were to crop every one of your photos. I really like how the video looks on this lens. It lets off a mild, dreamy-like vibe, though it still remains kind of sharp. That's really all I have to say though. Overall, it is a nice lens, if you can find it that is. If you stumble upon this lens for a decent price, it is a good option if you want to practice with it when it comes to both like close-up and far away shots. Thanks for watching.